And now, your first alert weather.
Yeah, it was a windy one this weekend. We had gusty conditions all weekend long, lowering our temperatures into the 70s yesterday thanks to that cold front. Now today it's been warmer outside and we're going to be really pumping in the heat here as we get through this midweek with highs expected to get into the mid to upper 90s over the next couple of days. Potentially even breaking some temperature records around the Snake River Plain. Normal highs would be in the mid 80s, and we've been looking at those mid 90s coming through here. A little unusual to see this much heat this time of the year. Of course, it's still summer, 87 degrees right now at the Idaho Falls Airport. Check out that humidity, dry 17% with winds out of the southwest at 10 miles per hour. Pocatello at the Farm Bureau Skycam, we got 87 degrees. Also seeing dry conditions at the airport with light winds at 6 miles an hour. We go to Salmon. We've been stuck with the smoke today, and we're going to see more of that smoke and haze drifting through central Idaho valleys, and then some of that smoke is going to get down into areas of the Snake River Plain for this week. 86 degrees right now at the Salmon Airport. Light winds out of the west at 5 miles an hour, and then over east of the Tetons into Jackson. Keeping sunny skies in the forecast this afternoon. Dry temps, well, dry conditions, I should say. 21% humidity and light winds at 3 miles an hour. All right, so let's get to the big picture. Viper right now showing not a whole lot of action on our side of the country. Yeah, you start to see a little bit of wet weather as you're getting into areas of northern Minnesota, but it is very dry from border to border here on the western half of the United States. We have a very strong ridge of high pressure that is overhead here, and it's moving that jet stream well up into Canada. There are a few thunderstorms wrapping in around that high, and yeah, locally here, we could get a couple isolated thunderstorms over the next couple of days. However, if we do see thunderstorms locally, they're going to trend to be fairly dry and not produce a lot of moisture. The ridge of high pressure, like I mentioned here for your Tuesday, still getting well into Canada, and we're pumping in the heat from the south. As a result, the National Weather Service issuing a heat advisory for areas of southern and western Idaho beginning tomorrow, and then eastern Idaho takes its turn beginning Wednesday with temperatures at 95 to 100 degrees for the shaded areas on the map. And even if you don't live in the heat advisory zones, everybody's going to be hot from the mountains to the valleys, pretty hot for this time of the year. Over to Vipercast, again, fairly quiet conditions tonight. A few clouds will drift on through out towards Boise and Twin Falls, and we have winds at 5 to 10. Couple isolated thunderstorms will arrive here on the Vipercast. You'll notice that most of them will be into the foothills and mountains of southern and southeastern Idaho. Couple thunderclouds may get close to central Idaho for Tuesday, and getting into early Wednesday. Wednesday afternoon, it's going to be looking hot for the Snake River Plain. Couple isolated thunderstorms possible in areas of central Idaho. Temperatures are going to really take off like a rocket once we get past noon tomorrow, with highs in Idaho Falls aiming for those mid 90s. And places like Pocatello, we're talking upper 90s. If you want to cool off, Yellowstone's a nice choice here. Still got lows heading back into the 30s and 40s with daytime highs into the comfortable mid to upper 70s and a low risk of thunderstorms. In fact, it's looking pretty dry there in the national parks for the next few days. 93 for the expected high in McCammon, 92 in Preston with highs in Jackson at 86 tomorrow. I'm going to put Swan Valley about 85 along with Driggs, 88 in Ashton with highs in central Idaho, 94 for Salmon, 93 in Challis, the upper 80s towards Arco. Idaho Falls got you at 92 tomorrow with 96 in Pocatello, American Falls, mid-90s out towards Burley and Twin. And as we go through the Jackson 8-day forecast, see the temperatures staying pretty consistent all the way through Labor Day weekend with plenty of sunshine and a low risk of thunderstorms. Over to Salmon with a high of 94 and 97 for the next couple of days under mostly sunny skies. Lows dipping back into the mid to upper 50s for the next couple of nights and mornings. Labor Day weekend showing us highs well into those mid 90s. Blackfoot a high of 95 for Wednesday, 94 for Thursday. We got 93 and 95 for Friday and Saturday. Rexburg, you'll see the low 90s here for the rest of this week, even pushing those mid 90s by Saturday under dry, sunny conditions, and that's going to carry us through Labor Day weekend. Pocatello, 97 degrees for Wednesday and all the way back up to 98 for Saturday. It's going to be hot this weekend, just around 100 for the Gate City, and we'll have lows into the 60s, with Idaho Falls seeing temps here at 94 for Wednesday and Thursday, with the low to mid 90s to get us through Friday and Saturday. You'll notice that these 8-day forecasts are showing fairly dry weather. We don't have a major thunderstorm concern, and it looks like it's going to stay that way well, through the middle of next week once we get past Labor Day. Our Caribou Ford Spirit of Idaho comes to us here from Jolene and Ammon, who got a beautiful pic as the thunderclouds were departing last week when we got hit with some of that raucous weather. Actually, I don't know exactly when she took this picture, maybe a couple weeks ago, but we've had some really neat photos come in of these thunderclouds as they've been thinning out and moving off and still catching glimpses of the sunset. So Jolene, thank you for saying that in. You go to our website, news3now.com, and once you're there, click on weather, and then under the weather menu, you'll see Spirit of Idaho, and you can peruse the photos such as Jolene's here. Eric.
All right, thanks, Michael. Coming up in sports, it was a tough start.